No, nothing, sir.
Nothing. They're getting away. We had them in our hands. Full pursuit!
Look at those machines.
See, Omar.
Only recently released from prison, Mahatma Gandhi leaves Bombay on the SS Rajputana to attend the Roundtable Conference on Indian Independence called by Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald. Mr. Gandhi, the sole Indian Congress Party delegate, is staying at Kingsley Hall in the East End of London for the duration of the talks, and is seen here amongst local cockneys who have taken him to their hearts. Besides attending the conference, he has found time to meet political and religious leaders like Mr. Lloyd George and the Archbishop of Canterbury, as well as Mr. George Bernard Shaw and Mr. Charlie Chaplin. He journeyed last week from Kingsley Hall to accept an invitation to tea from Their Majesties King George and Queen Mary at Buckingham Palace before attending the conference.
And I would emphasize that I think our first duty is to recognize that there is not one India, but several. A Hindu India, a Muslim India, and an India of princely states. And all these must be respected and cared for.
Here's the helpless, hopeless invalid my opponents have been talking about. My friends, we are enduring hard times. We all know it. We all see it. We are all of us affected by it. I believe that the greatest single task is to put people to work. This is no unsolvable problem if we face it wisely and courageously.
Mr. Speaker, the loss of India would mark and consummate the downfall of the British Empire. If we cannot do our duty in India, we should have shown ourselves unworthy to reserve the vast empire which still centres upon this small island. It is alarming and also nauseating to see Mr. Gandhi, a seditious Middle Temple lawyer, now posing as a fakir of a type well known in the East, striding half naked up the steps of the vice-regal palace to parley on equal terms with representative of the King Emperor.
Head and Council's Private Members' Bill, second reading.
There was a time when people used to rush into the chamber to hear me speak. It's Winston, they cry. Winston's on his feet. Now they hurry away, as if to avoid an embarrassing accident. You finished, Brendan?
Nonsense.
A ghost. Witnessing my own demise.
In Berlin, Germany, troops parade in review before the recently elected Chancellor Adolf Hitler. Foreign observers were surprised that 92% of the German electorate voted for candidates of the National Socialist Party, thereby giving the party leader, Hitler, an overwhelming victory.
Who is?
Quiet in the cheap seats, please.
My God, if that's the Third Reich, give me the New Deal every time.
And defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God. This great nation will endure as it has endured, will revive and will prosper. So first of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror, which paralyzes needed efforts to convert retreat into advance.
Even as the new president took the oath of office, new unemployment figures revealed no increase in the availability of jobs. The first task of Franklin D. Roosevelt will be, in his own words, to put people to work. An impoverished nation looks to the future with hope.
Don't look at me, look at them. Remember what I told you. Match my stride. Keep your head up. Smile. Look people right in the eye. Keep them from noticing what we're doing.
Two things to remember, kid. You never catch him moving, only standing still. And never in a wheelchair, except from the waist up.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Nice day.
Well, it started out kind of gray, but it sure has brightened up, Mr. President.
Oh, we take that as a favorable omen. The sun shines on the New Deal.
Can we have you like that for just a minute, Mr. President?
Like this?
That's perfect. Hold it.
Продайте пальто. Продайте пальто.
Ні, мені цього не треба. Гроші не треба. У вас хліб є. Хліб.
Как долго это продолжается?
Кто вы?
Я журналист. Чернозем. Так его назвала моя мама. Черноземный край. Мог бы прокормить мир. Пожалуйста, скажи мне, что случилось.
Как вы думаете, что случилось? Они убивают нас. Миллионы погибли.
Миллионы? Почему?
Приехали люди и решили, что они могут изменить естественный порядок вещей.
The Soviet Union is not the workers' paradise that was promised. It is not the great experiment that you read about in the press. Stalin has no stunning new achievements, unless you consider killing millions of innocent people an achievement. Make no mistake. If we let him get away with this man-made famine, there will be others like him.
Well, what's happening? Who the hell are you? What do you think's happening? We're celebrating May Day. Workers of the world unite. Hoffman, reporting from headquarters, transportation section. You're late. We have to send for another driver. I had to grab the Standartenführer to Hanover last night. We just got back. Wait here. You in charge here? That's right. Who are you? Rudolph Wagner, branch secretary. That's a union property. You don't like to be here without a warrant, you know. You've got it wrong, little man. As from today, this union is suspended. And this is government property. So go celebrate your Labour Day somewhere else. All right, take them. He needs an ambulance.
Oh, God. We didn't get anything for Brian.
I'm afraid I had no time to have a draft.
Darling, isn't that beautiful?
What on earth makes you think I'd accept that? To give me pleasure.
Max loves buying things.
Brian, you're a man of strong convictions.
Can we have caviar again?
But you had it for breakfast.
Can I have it for lunch?
For lunch, for dinner, breakfast again. Anything you want.
Dry caviar, bitter. That's for me. What are you having? Little lady.
The Nazis are just a gang of stupid hooligans. But they do serve a purpose. Let them get rid of the communists. Later, we'll be able to control them.
But who exactly is we?
Germany, of course.
Hey, Max, can we go to the Bristol bar?
Why not?
Oh, wonderful. I'm dying to show off my new coat.
I think I could do with a drink, too.
Good. We'll make a night of it. Or why not a weekend?
Why didn't you advise me to wear my uniform?
The understanding was, my Führer, this was to be a relaxed, unofficial introductory meeting.
At first sight, I don't like him. Obviously, due to his people do. He's the new Chancellor of Germany. But all our contacts in Germany insist he's untrustworthy and dangerous.
Genghis Khan in a raincoat.
Why doesn't he come? Am I not his guest?
Remember, Excellency, you are dealing with Italians. And of all Italians, Mussolini is the most mercurial. Might I suggest we go to him? Otherwise, we could wait here all night.
Führer, das italienische Volk und ich begrüßen Sie.
Is he trying to speak German?
Sounds as though he learned it in Switzerland.
The Führer and Reich Chancellor has condemned you to death. Sentence to be carried out immediately.
But Dietrich, you're my friend. The Führer would never do this. I can't believe he would do this.
Believe whatever you like. What about Rome? Führer is a man of great sentiment. He may decide to pardon him. Ready! Load! Aim!
Long live the Führer! Heil Hitler!
Ah!
Heil Hitler, indeed. Pure theater, what?
Pity we couldn't provide him with a better audience.
Winston! Go on, Winston. Lunch in 5 minutes.
Dogs look up to you. Cats look down on you. Pigs treat you as equals.
What is it? India?
Partly. Partly these.
What about them?
Well, there, Hitler. Made me think. In 35, I was Home Secretary. 37, First Lord of the Admiralty and 50 Chancellor of the Exchequer, doing pretty well.
Bad.
Now look at me. No power, no prospect of power. Look at Hitler. Some bugger all, the head of state in 10 years.
Come and have some lunch.
Not hungry.
Everyone's waiting.
Let them wait.
Come and have a drink at least.
What have you got there?
I'll show you indoors.
Cheer me up.
Not exactly. You may be right about Germany.
What do you mean? What is all this?
A report from our air attaché in Berlin. It says the Nazis have in training over 8,000 pilots.
Sounds as if Hitler is creating an air force.
I would say so.
Yes, but the Prime Minister would not. God help us, Desmond. England is lost in a pacifist dream.
People prefer that to the nightmare of war. National air and Somme are too close for comfort.
Yeah. People are dreaming, it means they're asleep. Time they bloody woke up.
Bless you. You're very kind to think of it, very kind indeed. I'm most grateful. The fact is, I only really seem to feel like reading newspapers these days, even your National Socialist one. Well, I suppose I should. Oh, may I offer you a cup of coffee? I've become very good at making coffee.
No, I really must go.
Well, thank you for the visit. It's always good to see old friends.
Well, why don't you just... I mean, have you thought of emigrating?
Where would I go?
I don't know. England, America.
What would I do there?
Teach, of course.
I'm afraid the study of German literature is not going to be a very popular pursuit in the near future. Don't you agree? Besides, it's rather late in life to learn a new language. Anyway, I'm much too German. I would probably get homesick.
Come in.
Ah, Rafe, I thought you left ages ago.
Well, I've been reading this. Drink?
Yes.
It's a report from Berlin. Hitler's cabinet has approved a new law. It means, in effect, the compulsory sterilization of all those suffering from hereditary illnesses which are deemed, and I quote, to affect the health of the nation. Bad. Racial purity. This is just the beginning.
There is no doubt that the Germans are superior to us in the air at the present time. And it is my belief that by the end of the year, there will possibly be 3 or even 4 times our strength.
Where did he get all that information?
Winston makes it his business to be well informed.
I don't like it. It could do immense damage to our trade with Germany. Not mention the cost of rearmament. Where does he think the money's coming from? I want him isolated. Tell the wits.
Last month, my daughter referred to Adolf Hitler as Genghis Khan. She should have said Attila the Hun. Gentlemen, at 1 o'clock this afternoon, Nazis dressed as Austrian army officers broke into the Federal Chancellor in Vienna and assassinated Chancellor Dollfuss. The English and the French are doing nothing to stop this madman. But we, Italians, will stop these Huns. We will mobilize our forces, poise our divisions at the Brenner Pass, and dare Hitler to move. We will show him he cannot trifle with Italy. Now, more important matters. At the present time, we rule 100,000 square miles of the Sahara. But I am not a collector of deserts, gentlemen. We will strike as soon as the spring rains are over. I want you to use mustard gas against these savages. In every village that we seize, every male 18 and over is to be shot. The very name, Abyssinia, is to be wiped from the maps. When they go into battle, our troops will sing the anthem of our march on Rome. The fascist hymn, Giovinezza.
Mr. Speaker, before I am derided yet again, and before any further insults are hurled at me in the evening of my days, let me give you some facts and figures, some food for thought. Let me describe to you the method of aircraft manufacture in Hitler's Germany.
Sit down, Winston. We've heard it all before.
This you will not have heard, I can assure you of that. Aeroplanes destined for the Luftwaffe are not manufactured in one place. Throughout Germany, a large number of firms are making seemingly innocent component parts, which are then dispatched to great central factories where they are assembled very rapidly into fighter and bomber aircraft, like a jigsaw puzzle or Meccano game. It's very clever, very effective, and above all, it conceals a true scale of German rearmament. I am reliably informed that the working population of Dessau, a small town near Leipzig, increased last year by 13,000 people. And why was that? What is manufactured in Dessau that requires such an enormous influx of workers? Lager beer? Lederhosen? Sausages? Aircraft? That is why I say we must act decisively, and we must act now, to put our defenses in order. If we do not, history will cast its verdict with those terrible, chilling words, too late.
Mr. Ferguson?
The right honourable gentleman present the for
Choose someone for me, Onessa.
The boy on the bike. Just one look. You are ready.
The Emperor has been asked to sign the following. After careful consideration, we have decided to nominate the Honorable Chan Wei as the new Prime Minister of Manchukuo. No. Today, on our return from Japan, we wish to speak of something more important. The future of our friendship with Japan. This is based on mutual respect. And respect means equality and independence. When the two emperors stood together and saluted the two national flags, they recognized that Manchukuo had come of age. Manchukuo is not a colony, Manchukuo is Manchuria. The relationship between our two countries is like the relationship between its two emperors. It is rooted in fraternal trust, in the desire to preserve our ancient traditions, and in a mutual respect for our national identities. Already we have welcomed the ambassadors of El Salvador, Costa Rica, the Vatican.
Careful.
Not to cut my throat, you mean? Finish what the Supreme Court started.
I read about it in the train. It's a shock.
It stunned me, I can tell you. The biggest jolt was the fact that it was unanimous. We all assumed that at least Brandeis and Cardozo were on the side of progress. We thought we were making such strides with the Recovery Act. And then to have them throw it back into our faces.
352!
Good girl.
Strange. These strike leaders, they're all brunettes. Not a blonde amongst them.
Brunettes are troublemakers. They're worse than the Jews.
Then wipe them out.
Too small. Not so fast. We get rid of the Jews first, then concentrate on the brunettes.
We shall never have peace until we have a pure Aryan race. How wonderful. Tulmania, a nation of blue-eyed blondes.
Why not a blonde Europe, a blonde Asia, a blonde America?
A blonde world.
And a brunette dictator.
Dictator of the world.
Why not? Art Caesar, art nullus. The world is effete, worn out, afraid. No nation would dare to oppose you.
Dictator of the world.
It's your destiny. We'll kill off the Jews, wipe out the brunettes. Then will come forth our dream, a pure Aryan race.
Beautiful blonde Aryans.
They will love you, they will adore you. They will worship you as a god.
No, you mustn't say it. You make me afraid of myself.
Yes, dictator of the world. We'll start with the invasion of Austerlitz. After that, we won't have to fight, we can bluff. Nation after nation will capitulate. Within 2 years, the world will be under your thumb.
Believe me, I want to be alone. Out Caesar, out Nolus, Emperor of the world. My word.
まあ、見てくれ。綺麗だな。これはいいや。実験機みたいなものだからな。好きにやってるんだ。飛ばしてみないと何ともわからんよ。ああ、これは飛ぶ。風が立ってる。いるか。黒川さん、次郎。はい、すぐ戻れ。はい、じゃあありがとう。今度うちに遊びに来い。うん。次郎、こげ。
特攻が次郎を調べに来ている。あ？思想犯専門の秘密警察だ。
ここですか？
お前は出張でいないことにした。引き上げたと見せかけやがって、その手に乗るか。次郎は今日はここにいろ。仕事は運ばせる。
説明してください。身に覚えのないことです。
俺の友人が何人も特攻にやられてる。みんな身に覚えなどなかった。入れ。
失礼します。
A vote today against our American athletes participating in these Olympics is a vote against tyranny.
When it's all over, everybody goes home. History remembers the winners. Every man and woman on that field is grateful for the chance to be there.
I urge you to vote today, not with your hearts as sporting men.
To tell their children.
But with your conscience.
And their children's children.
As members of the human race.
I was there.
We've had our differences, profound differences. But I've always admired your great political skills.
Winston, let me tell you something. To my mind, war is the greatest folly that can afflict mankind.
Absolutely, no question about it.
Please don't interrupt. Now, maybe you're right about it. Perhaps this war is inevitable, but I believe that I am inside. I have done everything in my power to preserve peace, and I would do exactly the same all over again. Bloodshed, sorrow, irreparable loss. That's what I've been hoping to prevent. But, as I say, you may well be right.
We're powerless. Hitler's preparing to tear the world apart. And we can do nothing.
Of course we can, and we shall.
I should never have shown you those papers.
What do you mean?
Well, perhaps the Prime Minister's right. Perhaps we should try to find a compromise with Herr Hitler.
Oh, that'll be ridiculous. We know that's impossible.
Then perhaps we should let him have his own way.
For God's sake, Ray, what ridiculous nonsense is this?
Ray, you're tired. We should go home. Hundreds of thousands of people will die. Millions. And I shall be responsible.
Weeks, that's just not true.
Partly responsible, then.
How would you be remotely responsible?
By showing those papers to Winston. By stirring up public opinion. By making it impossible for the government to reach a settlement with the Nazis.
Brave.
Hitler is unstoppable. In 3 years, he's made himself dictator of Germany. He's dumped the Treaty of Versailles and rebuilt the armed forces. He'll march into Austria, and then Czechoslovakia, and then God knows what, the whole of Europe.
Consequently, we must today...
Guards! Guards! My name is Stefan Lux. I am Jewish. The Jews are being persecuted in Germany, and the world doesn't care. I see no other way to reach people's hearts.
Broad jump final. German Chancellor Adolf Hitler takes his seat for the event. And after a close-run qualifying round, the great athlete Jesse Owens of the USA faces up against Lutz Long. Owens. Owens has beaten the European record set only moments ago.
Life was very precious to me. Please tell me it wasn't wasted.
Ava, my dear, you'll be very proud of him. People often act heroically because they don't fully appreciate the dangers that lie ahead. Rafe saw those dangers and was afraid of them. But he did what he did in spite of his fear. No man can be braver than that.
Thank you, Winston.
I, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
If we agree, you promise that no other old comrades will be executed.
Their families will not be harmed.
The families, that's important.
And our lives too?
Of course, all that goes without saying.
Cobra.
They lied to us. They lied to us. They told us we would not be killed. Our families, he said our families would not be hurt. He promised that, he said it, we said it in court, he promised it in his office.
We were promised our lives if we confessed.
Red Stalin has revoked his promise.
Geisha, shut up! Be brave! Show them how men who stood with Lenin can die.
Would you have us believe that Austria alone holds the monopoly on virtue?
Herr Zeller, some of us prefer Austrian voices raised in song to ugly German threats.
The ostrich buries his head in the sand, and sometimes in the flag. Perhaps those who would warn you that the Anschluss is coming, and it is coming, Captain, perhaps they would get further with you by setting their words to music.
If the Nazis take over Austria, I have no doubt, Herr Zeller, that you will be the entire trumpet section.
You flatter me, Captain.
Oh, how clumsy of me. I meant to accuse you.